Hello. You're returning to the episode of TheWunderkindShow. Today's second topic: the Ravens can win out if they use their biggest weapon. Look, we kind of touched on this about 2 or 3 episodes ago, and after doing the previous episode, I sat back and I was sitting there going over things. And I'm like, my God, like, I said it the last episode, and it's become so prevalent for us moving forward that if we don't, it's more than just negligence. At that point, you have to be looking at Harbaugh and company and saying they are actively sabotaging the Baltimore Ravens. And what I mean about the Ravens using their biggest weapon, as I said, the biggest, he is probably one of the most talked about Ravens players who is not considered one of their superstars. And outside of Derrick Henry, we're not counting Lamar. Lamar's the most important. But outside of Derrick Henry as weapons, he is probably the most impactful. And the player who I'm talking about, who some of you who watch the game should know, his name is Patrick Flapjack Ricard. And here's the thing. I was going over certain stuff, and I was looking over some of the game tape. And I was looking at some games from our previous games. And do you know what Patrick Ricard on the field with Derrick Henry does? You don't know? I'm going to tell you. For one, he acts as an additional lineman. That's number one. For passing down situations, he becomes an additional lineman. Okay. So it comes from blocking 5 guys and from 5 guys to 6 guys. And sometimes that's 6.5 because the tight end on the line, like Mark Andrews, is chipping. So Lamar gets ample time. Ample. Do whatever he wants. And when he's coming through that line, it forces the defense to follow wherever Patrick Ricard is going. You see, Patrick Ricard is the piece where the other piece follows. Like in chess, everybody knows once you lock up the king, you lose, right? Once you got my king where it's locked down, you can't do nothing, you win. But most people understand the most powerful piece is not the king, but it's the queen. It is the queen. And it's because the queen can be moved anywhere. Anywhere. And with Patrick Ricard, that's what he's become. Because you have to understand something. And I've said this. I know some people's like rolling their eyes like, oh, yeah, okay, Nitro. No, listen. I'm going to make a great point on this. The weather is getting bad. So the grass is getting like choppy. People are slipping. It's harder to cut on. All that stuff. When it's cold, you know what hurts more? Hits. Yeah. And when you can lean into the opposing offense with a player that they have to follow because he's so big that when he goes this way and checks towards into the line, towards the gap, right? They're like, that's where the ball has to be going. That's why I'm surprised the Ravens don't kill teams more with counters. Because everybody knows if Patrick Ricard's going this way, it's usually where the ball is going. Stretch plays with him leading the way. Powers. Stretch powers. Like, bro, there's so many different ways to get him incorporated. And then when you look at it, because remind you, I'm going to break this down. Usually you have 5 down linemen, right? So that's 5 guys. You have your quarterback, you have your running back. That makes 7 guys. 2 wide receivers put you at 9. Patrick Ricard puts you at 10, and then your tight end puts you at 11. Right? Okay. So when you're set up heavy, like I was explaining on the last video, you can have Isaiah Likely, right, split off. Or you can have him on the line, so then it looks like, okay, this is 7, so it's max protect. 2-man route combination. The third combination is either a dump off to the running back or Lamar. That's what makes the play action so dangerous in Baltimore. Imagine you have your 5 down linemen, which they haven't even been doing well, but imagine how well they do when that number goes from 5 to 6. Right? Or let's even say, okay, let's go real heavy and let Mark Andrews really stay back and block. So those 6 goes to 7. So now you have Lamar, running back, and then you have the receivers. Now, if Lamar goes like this and he puts that ball in his gut, they got to come down. But because they can't break through the line because it's so many people, it's like 7 guys versus 5 guys. You understand where I'm coming from? Lamar has time. So it's like, okay, now those are developing routes. You can have one developing route, one underneath, and then you have your dump off to your running back. And if those don't check out for Lamar, Lamar can just do Lamar type things. Hit him with that da-da-da, ta-ha-ha. That's what I call that now. When Lamar goes to that ta-da-da, ha-ha-ha. And he's gone. Magic, he's out. Got the defense screaming. They can't take it. Now he truly becomes a dual threat in those scenarios. Because listen, Lamar is a piece that other pieces accentuate, right? In different ways. So if you go like that, then play action is going to be amazing and also deep shots because of the ability to max protect. So long developing routes can happen. And the defense has to stay true because even if all 3 is locked up, you can have Andrews blocking, and then you can finally have him chip off it and break off into a route, and that's 8 or 9 yards right there. Just in case Lamar says, you know what, I don't want to take it myself. So now the defense is like, bro, what are we going to do? Then they got to go base, heavy. Good luck with that. That's why I'm saying the creativity is lacking at times, and it's frustrating. But I keep trying to tell people, you got to start using our biggest weapon, and that's Ricard. He doesn't always have to get the ball, but what he allows to do, he helps out the offensive line. He mitigates it. Play action already helps them because they don't know if it's going to be a run or pass, and then Patrick Ricard punching him in the face with already the down 5 linemen gives you even more punch. And you can alternate it. You can have Derrick Henry going to pass protect with his big old body. And then have Mark Andrews finally break off and do what he wants to do to eat up the middle of the field. I'm telling y'all, if the Ravens want to win out, they have to make use of their biggest weapon, Patrick Ricard. And if they don't, well, it's going to be a very difficult last part of the games. And that's all facts. Jack. But what do you guys think? Do you think the Ravens need to use their biggest weapon? Or do you think, no, we don't got to use them as much? We have other guys to get the ball to. Let's lean more on our passing game when the games are now being cold, harder, and bad weathered games. Let me know what you think down in the comment section about it, all right? Let me know which side of that coin you stand on. But as always, that's an episode of the Wunderkind Show! That is so crazy. This thing went at the very end, so I'm not even going to erase it. But I just want everybody to know, if you want to support the channel, y'all know how to do it. Leave for your Patreon. There it goes back. Patreon. There's 3 tiers of content. try one of them. It helps to support the channel also. And if you want to donate to the channel, help out with equipment and such stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR codes to a Cash App. Cash is located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. And once again, I'm sorry about that, guys, but it literally happened at the end of the video. So we're just going to keep it going. But once again, it's another episode of The Wunderkind Show. This show is signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. You know how we do it. Yeah.
Finish him, Daddy.